Wiggle, wiggle.
Like.
Alright, Blitzers, I got a request from a subscriber. Thank you so much, shout out to you, about doing a quick review on the Progetto 65 after the nerf happened with 6.7. I have a hard time with doing these kind of, not so much reviews, but always playing with the tank after a nerf, because it's almost like you're like the little kid that has the ice cream and you just love it, and then another update comes out with a nerf and it's like they just take it away from you, because all you can really feel towards the update is just hate for it. Because especially just with that tank, I mean, there's a lot of cool things that do change and come out with updates, but they really do. When they nerf a tank, it kind of tears it apart a little bit. Some aren't bad, you know, some are worse than others, but let's just specifically talk about the Progetto 65. This is a tank, before the update, and they nerfed it, I love this tank. This was a great tank. The auto reloader was so much fun, and I played some decent games in it. I had some really good games. I would say before the update, the only thing I really had a problem with was the shell velocity was just a little slow. It just took a little bit longer for your shell to reach the target, which was a little frustrating, and it did cause me some problems. It had a little bit of an arc to it when you shot. It wasn't so much of a straight line. But now, after update 6.7, they've done some things to this tank where they've decreased the engine power, so it's not as fast. It does feel a little bit more sluggish, which is unfortunate, but I'm wondering if the reason why they did that is because you'll notice even in these replays, you do get some bounce, as that sloped hull is pretty amazing. Especially if you're incoming out of an enemy, or incoming to an enemy and you're wobbling a little bit, you can get those bounces, and it's pretty good. And the accuracy, they also decrease the accuracy of this thing. So with that combined with the shell velocity, you know, just the feel of it. I just went in and just played, you know, a few games with this, and these are just a few of these games. I honestly, since this request, I had not played the Progetto 65 at all until I got this request. And I just went back and just started playing it again, and honestly, it's just not quite the same, and I wasn't really expecting it to be. Sometimes the changes aren't as noticeable. It's still an okay tank, but honestly, I would say my biggest complaint with it is it just feels a bit more sluggish. You got to be a little bit more careful with it. You definitely, if you're close and encountered around enemies, you want to keep that momentum, because this thing with it being a little bit more sluggish, if you've got enemies around you, that get up and go speed is just not there. You won't really be able to get away that much more quicker than when you used to, and so you're gonna run into these issues with this tank. And so I played it in like one game in it as well, and I had a rough time just because I didn't have that get up and go speed. And so that's honestly where the struggle is for me. Now, in terms of it being balanced and it being a fair tank and what it was before, I didn't really see it as an OP tank before. I thought it was a good tank. I mean, I would say the most OP thing about it was that frontal sloped armor was pretty good. Now that it's decreased with the engine power, that I have a little bit of a hard time with. You can still bounce those rounds off the hull, but yeah, you want to be a little bit more careful with this, and you really want to be in positions to either keep that distance or try to keep that momentum going. as I did even in the first replay, just like really trying to kind of zoom around. You're still a medium tank, so you want to be fulfilling that role of trying to get to positions to spot. And so honestly, I mean, after 6.7, will I play the Progetto here and there? Not really. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, compared to what they actually did, where the T62A now has 7 degrees of gun depression, which is just incredible for that tank. I've got a lot of tier 10s, and I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I just don't know if I would really find myself playing this thing as much as I used to. The auto reloader is honestly still beautiful. It is still, I would say that is one of the most beautiful factors about this tank and makes it a little unique, is that if you like auto loaders, this auto reloader just keeps the shells coming. You don't have to completely drain your mag to restart over if you shoot one and you want a full mag. This thing will just pick up where it left off. So it does still have that beautiful feature to it. Anyway, hope this helps. The Stud Muffin 1986 here. Become a patron. I'll provide the link below. $2 a month would be super helpful. Love you guys. Stay cool and keep tanking.